55,000 books are in need of a new home now that a bookstore in East Duluth is forced to close its doors soon. Gabriel's bookstore is located in the Lakeside Professional Building, which is owned by the St. Michael's Church next door. The church decided to demolish the building because necessary repairs like replacing all the windows, boilers, and others just too expensive. Bookstore customers are able to fill up a brown bag of books for only $5. Kids get 5 free books, and teachers a whole bag's worth free each visit. The store doesn't pay rent, but gives all its proceeds to the church because leaders say the goal is to spread the love of reading, not increasing profits. Well, now the group of volunteers who run Gabriel's are hoping for another space to operate the bookstore from.
We're hoping that maybe there's somebody out there that's kind of a community angel or a group of people in the community that want to help with some of this.
And Gabriel's is going to continue to operate as normal until they have to be out of that building on May 1st. The U.S.